Hi, boys and girls. Hope everybody's enjoying their week. I went to the school today, Eastview, and it was very quiet and lonely without you guys there. So, really looking forward to the fall when we get to all get back together again. So, this past week we learned about adjectives, and this week we learned about adverbs. So I think that we should maybe do a worksheet together and see if we can come up with adjectives and adverbs to fill in the blanks. Just a couple things I'd like to remind you about before we begin. An adverb. Adverbs are words we use to describe a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. They are words that tell how something happens, when something happens, where something happens, and to what extent. In this sentence, they are talking loudly. Can you find the adverb? Right, it's loudly. We know they are talking, but how are they talking? It's loudly. Okay, let's take a look at this one here. It says, Mrs. Beamer blank drinks coffee. We could just say Mrs. Beamer drinks coffee, but then we wouldn't know to what extent. I could say in this blank, always, sometimes, or never. If you do see me in the hallways or you have me in class, you will know that Mrs. Beamer always drinks coffee. But if I didn't like coffee, we would say Mrs. Beamer never drinks coffee. Now, how about this one? It says, Stella writes very nicely. Can you find the adverb in this one? If you said that there are two adverbs in this one, you're correct. Stella writes very, to what degree, and nicely is how she writes. To what degree something is done is very. Let's take a look at number 3. It says, Allie quickly ran down the street. When I look at this, I can find a verb first. And remember, a verb is the action that takes place. Allie ran, that's the action. Quite often, if we find a verb, the adverb is close by. Can you guess what the adverb is? Right, it's quickly. She ran quickly. Allie quickly ran down the street. If you guessed quickly, you were correct. On this last one, I would like you to try to figure out what adverb you would like to use. Let's read it together. Blake blank got into the bounce house. So we know that Blake got into a bounce house, but we don't know how he got into the bounce house. Can you think of a couple how words that we might be able to put into this sentence? There are a couple different ones. We could say that Blake happily got into the bounce house. He was excited to get into that bounce house. If you guess the word like fearfully, it changes the whole sentence. Blake fearfully got into the bounce house. It makes you think that he didn't want to get into that bounce house. Do you see how I changed the adverb and it changed the meaning of the whole sentence? So remember, adverbs are words that we use to describe a verb, an adjective, or another adverb. We use describing words such as how, when, where, how much, and to what degree something happened. While you're reading tonight, see if you can find the adverbs in something. Or while you're writing, try to include an adverb and see if it helps add a little zazz to what you're writing. Until next time, have a great week.